Villavicencio, and my pronouns are she, her, hers.
Cool. Okay, let's go start.
Okay. First question. Why is the social aspect of KP and social events such as friendship games important to the space? How would you find the balance between KP being too social and or maintaining retention in the space?
Sorry, can you repeat the first question?
Yeah. It's just why is the social aspect of KP and social events such as friendship games important to the space?
Yeah, I feel like the social aspect of KP is important to the space because it allows KP members to get to know each other in a non-traditional KP setting such as like GBMs. It allows them to see maybe board members or their peers in a light where it's like very casual, I guess. And I feel like social events are so important because it is kind of what drags people in or what keeps them drawn to the space. And I feel like through those social events, it allows them to have an idea of what else KP has to offer. For example, I came into the KP space for the social aspect, and I did get that from the space, but I also came out with so much more. And I feel like that's what's really important, is that you're able to make those bonds and relationships within KP, but you can also take away from the people that you meet. For example, I met my intern chords at a social event, Friendship Games. I met so many board members, and it made me interested in the KP space and want to be more involved.
Second question. Although Friendship Games is a fun event, there are many concerns about the way in which games are performed or presented, for example, the phallic nature of the nasty. How would you address the hypermasculinity and touchiness of Friendship Games to ensure that members feel comfortable participating?
Yeah, I feel like with the games and Friendship Games, I think the most important thing is to really implement community guidelines, especially respect the space and assume good intentions. I feel like when we do start games, I think it's definitely going to be really fun and people are going to get excited, but I would really like to emphasize that although it is really fun and exciting, we are still representing our school as an organization at Friendship Games. So kind of just like a disclaimer and warning people to just like have fun and make light of situations and just really be encouraging towards others during the games, because overall we're representing our school and we just want to represent like KP as a whole, which is like a really like unified, supportive, and inclusive community.
Cool, thank you. Third question. In your events, there have been committees to aid in your coordination if you wish. What is your experience just with leading groups and delegating in general?
Yeah, so in high school, I was my class vice president, and a really big event that I planned was prom, and prom planning was really similar to Sayawan planning. We had subcommittees, and I delegated tasks and reached out to venues, and I really enjoyed planning and making agendas, which is what I joined internship for, and currently I'm the funding and logistics committee lead for planning Sayawan, and that includes kind of the same gist, reaching out to venues, collaborating with your committee and other committees so that Sayawan is a fun and organized event. So I feel like I have sufficient experience in planning these events and especially working with others to ensure that we all do our own parts in making these events happen and happen in a way that's not stressful and very cohesive.
Fourth question. Recently, attendance in social events has been mostly underclassmen, with upperclassmen attendance dwindling over the years. You also might see it like just throughout the school year in general, attendance dwindling in events. So how would you increase participation first, especially with third and fourth years, but also throughout the entire academic school year?
Yeah, I feel like a really good way to get third and fourth years involved is to make more events that are catered towards like maybe lines or FAMs, because I think that they would really like to be there to be able to support their littles. And I feel like another good way to increase attendance could be incentives such as raffles or stuff at the end of GBM, such as after socials. I feel like people of all years will be interested in attending that. And I feel like just in general, if I were to be activities coordinator, I just want to get to know the third and fourth years and encourage them to come myself, because I feel like it really makes a difference if you tell people that you want them there and that you think that they'll have a lot of fun. So I feel like just creating that environment where they feel that they're still welcome and that they'll still have a good time was really important when planning the social events.
Since you said that you did go to friendship games and you are currently helping out with planning Scion, if given the ATCO position, what would you change or do differently? What would you do the same?
Yeah, I think in terms of friendship games, I want to make it more accessible towards first years, because I feel like a lot of people I know didn't really know about the event, and I feel like I can do that by maybe collaborating with the MCM, making more posts for the Instagram over the summer, or maybe reaching out to the new 2028 pages and finding people I know, or stuff like that. And then I think I'd want to start planning early, and I would like to keep the idea of making subcommittees for friendship games. I feel like it would be really helpful during the process. And I really want to also kind of get people into the idea of everything early. So for example, creating a Slack and maybe making videos of how to play the games, or giving examples of stuff so that they go into it really excited and they know what they want to participate in and do. I feel like for Scion, I also really like the idea of subcommittees. I think maybe when planning with the interns, I'd give them a little more guidelines when they pick out venues. I feel like picking out a venue is the hardest part. And I would like to still keep KP Christmas as well. I really want to make that event more known, such as Scion and friendship games. My idea for it now is I really want to make it just a really feel-good Christmas time. We come in our pajamas. I really like the parole making. We can put on a movie and you can attend with your lines. And it's just a really cozy, nice Christmas vibe. And I would really like to bring back KP Bonfire as well. I read about it in the Constitution, and I feel like it's a really good way to get people introduced to the KP space pretty early on. I just feel like these events are what will introduce newcomers to the other aspects of KP. And I feel like the other aspects of KP are so important, but sometimes it's hard to get to know about them without just socializing with people who are part of it. And when they talk about their experiences, it makes me want to be part of that as well.
Awesome. Well, those were your 5 main questions. Are you open to answering a couple more, since you do have about 5 minutes left?
Yeah.
Okay. So as ATCO, or Activities Coordinator, you will be planning at least 3 major KP events throughout the year. How do you hope to find a balance in planning for all 3 of these events, or even adding more events?
Yeah, I hope to find a balance just by starting things early, and as well as just constant communication with the rest of the board. I feel like a lot of people on board may have more experience, they know how things work. I feel like it's really important to know when to ask for help and when to ask for board support. So I feel like I feel like I definitely would reach out to board members and maybe like past activities coordinators just to have an idea, but definitely starting early and kind of just being willing to put in extra work outside of the KP space. I think that's really important, especially since I'm really passionate about what I'd be doing.
How will you help retain GBMers that may be shy to coming out to social events just outside of normal GBMers?
Yeah, I feel like it's really important that as a board member, you still get to know new incoming members, and especially maybe the shyer ones. I myself am an introvert, and it really made an impact on me when board members were able to relate to me or share their own experiences or just taking time getting to know me. I would really like to do that for others because I feel like just hearing that someone cares and that someone someone supports you will make you want to come out to the next thing. And I would just really want to encourage people to be a part of things and to try new things. And I feel like just being really vulnerable and just personal about it and genuine, it can really make a difference.
So planning all these events can get very tiring, especially with like classes obviously and just being a student and like a person outside of your board position. So how do you ensure that you're still prioritizing your work but also yourself and just making sure that like passion and like fire for planning these events doesn't go out?
Yeah, I feel like a big thing is just like a big thing that I do is I just take a step back from everything and I give myself like a reality check. And I feel like I will continue to do those things when being a board member and if I were to be a board member, especially when balancing academics. I feel like a big thing that I would do is just make sure that things are organized and make sure that I'm always in communication with someone and that I know when to reach out. And I don't think that, and I know that this passion won't die because I feel like when I do these things that I enjoy, such as planning events and socializing with others, it doesn't always seem like work. It kind of seems like doing something that I really like, doing something that I enjoy. So I think that planning these KP events it'll feel good to just know that these events make an impact on others and that they'll take away something from these events. And I think that will really fuel my motivation to plan more and do more throughout the year.
I think there's time for one more question. So, what is your vision for friendship games this upcoming year, and how will you ensure participation in games and stuff?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I talked a little bit about this. The same thing with getting a little bit more first years. And for friendship games, I really want to, I don't know how to word this, I'm just gonna say it ugly, make it seem really hype, because my goal for friendship games is to just show people how supportive and how welcoming the KP community is. I want people to go to this event and just be drawn to the space like how I was and just give back to that community. And I feel like if I were to just be encouraging and be supportive and put that extra effort in, then I think that I can really use friendship games as a way to just like show people like how fun the space can be and just how like supportive the other members are. And I think that for friendship games, I just really would like to I would also like it to be an opportunity for people to meet new members, and I think it's a really good way to kind of get to know potential audience and stuff, and get to know maybe other board members and 'Cause I just found so many opportunities within friendship games, and I would really like new members to find those same opportunities and meet people and just like want to share experiences within KP.
Well, those are all the questions we had for you. Great job. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions for us?
I do.